My name is Mark Zilke, and those of you on social media know me as BizmanYXC, where I lift up different initiatives and different amazing things that are happening not only in Saskatoon but in Saskatchewan. One of those amazing sectors is the tech industry, and today I'm with Ray Newton of Firefly Mass Tech to sit down and have a conversation about, first of all, what is Firefly, what is the technology behind Firefly, and how can Firefly benefit not only people here in Saskatchewan, but across the prairies and perhaps even across borders. And so, Ray, first of all, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
And please take us through the Firefly story. What is this all about?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to say that the company was incorporated in the end of December, and it's being designed for protection of assets in rural areas
Okay.
and using many different technologies, some that exist out there right now, and others that we are actually code writing ourselves right now.
Okay, so you mentioned that Firefly has a lot of moving parts. For those of our viewers out there, can you take us through a step-by-step what exactly your technology is doing, what your technology is all about?
So, Mark, what it does is there's a perimeter around the farmyard, and it doesn't matter whether the farmyard's 5 acres, 10 acres.
Oh, we have one right behind us.
Yes, this one here. So when you look at the fence, this fence here, on a gate over there, there would be a lock or whatever, and if somebody cut that lock off or just opened the gate up, there would be notice that somebody crossed the perimeter.
Okay.
And then, so if somebody else went, and so if you went across the perimeter, and then say you went up to a combine, it would show that you're at a combine. And then you went over to a truck, and it showed you at a truck, and then say you broke into the shop, and if it was at 1 o'clock in the morning, our design is so we will take over the lights, turn the lights on in the shop, because got to remember, this whole thing's being monitored by a monitoring station.
Right.
And
right.
So we take over the lights, then we shoot video with like these people are caught like a deer in the headlights.
Well,
It paralyzes them.
Speaking of deer, this is not just for people. This could also then feasibly be if wildlife get into an area.
Or it could even be elk getting into a haystack.
Okay.
Yes.
So what this really is just about keeping track of assets.
Totally.
And this comes directly to your mobile.
Yes, it'll go right there. The farmer will get a notice of that
on his cell phone.
On a cell phone, and it will go to our command center as well.
Okay.
And so then if you go in and you approach a marked asset, it will send another notice that you're at a tractor or a combine
or a pen or anything like that.
And also we take a step further. We'll also be doing cameras on site as well.
Okay, so you have this is not just a makeshift solution. This is an actual heavy-duty industrial grade solution for security. Now, we've mentioned in the agricultural field, but as you shared this, I'm starting to see where this would be applicable, for example, in marinas or in mine sites. Yes. Or anywhere where there's assets, factories, warehouses, all these sorts of situations. Have you thought about branching that out?
Yes, as soon as we get our beta test site working, we'll be ready to go into any market, because all it'll be just renaming commands that already exist in our software and our devices.
Okay.
It's funny you should say that, Mark, is that we've already had somebody that's got a gold mine in Brumba that want to us to come over and perimeter their gold mine, track their employees to see who they're meeting with so there's no gold going missing, and also track their gold shipments, and we can do that. Then also we've had a marina in Rockport, Ontario approach us. Last summer they lost $2 250,000 boats, and they'd like to have it set.
They lost to
thieves. They had $2 250,000 boats stolen, and we've been in contact with, which I believe will probably be my largest market worldwide, and that is vineyards, if you can believe that,
Really?
for two reasons. One, you've got obviously thieves that get out there too,
Hmm.
but another important one is control of wildlife.
When I look at this, I'm thinking that this could, at the end of the day, significantly affect someone's bottom line in a positive way. Let me give you an example. When people have residential homes, they get a break,
They do, and on
maybe a small
insurance.
break, but it's still
On
it's a
insurance.
break on their insurance when they have a home alarm system.
Right.
So
Correct.
would that concept be able to apply to what you're providing or what you're seeking to provide the market with Firefly?
I wouldn't see why not. The other thing is that you have to that I look at too, and some of the farmers have actually mentioned to me, is when they claim lost items on their insurance, their premiums go up. So even if they don't get a break on their regular premiums,
Right.
but still they won't be increased because it's going to be not. And then once the system shows that it works as well as it does, then we'll be approaching the insurance companies to get them to endorse us and get farmers a break, because there is a cost for our monthly monitoring.
So you've already moved past the idea,
Yes.
and you are seeking to get the entire technology rolled out. You already have proof of concept and
Yes.
those things. What aspect could people become involved? Because I can tell you that I know quite a few people that would be absolutely excited about this technology. And here we're in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan right now.
Right.
But Saskatchewan, as you're aware, is considered a hotbed of technology, and it's
Right.
great to meet another and talk with another person who is leading that group, and so and participating in that.
We're excited.
In that sphere. And so, how can people become involved?
Well, there's a number of ways. We have a waiting list already for people that want the system, but until we have a beta test site set up so that we can work all the bugs and know there's not going to be problems, what we've done is we've got about a lot of money in development already. We're raising the last, say, $900 to $1 million. But I think I should mention at this time, Mark, Innovation Saskatchewan has given us a certificate of eligibility for any Saskatchewan resident who pays taxes here can get a 45% tax credit. Isn't that cool?
Okay, so just tell me a little bit more about that. So when you say they're eligible for tax credit, is that on a certain amount if they participate, or is it in sweat equity? What does that all mean to the average person out there who may or may not know what you're talking about?
Yeah, it is based on investment dollars into the company under a private placement, and which is all those documents were reviewed by Innovation Saskatchewan.
Okay.
And approved. And so what it means is the people that put that in, if they're having a tax issue, they get automatically 45% tax credit.
We've moved through how the technology works. We've moved through what makes Firefly tick.
Correct.
And we've also talked about the fact that you are not at the starting blocks. In fact, you're well down the road. You've mentioned that you're almost at the end.
Right, because once we raise our last money, we're just months away of having an operating beta test site.
Okay, so then with that, how can people find out more? You mentioned a website, but you've mentioned that it's very sparse until you have something up and running on a tangible physical location, correct?
Correct.
So what would be the best way for people to find out more?
If they wanted to find out more information on the company or myself, I would suggest they go right to LinkedIn.
Okay, and just look up your name?
Look up the name or look up Firefly, and it'll bring my name up with Firefly.
Basically, Google Ray Newton,
yeah,
and you'll get the LinkedIn site. You'll find a bunch of other awesome pages on there. But then you can also Google Firefly Mass Tech Corp.
Correct.
And then you and the company and the whole idea of this technology, what it's all about, will be able to come to life as well.
Correct.
And of course, your phone number and email address are all listed there.
They are.
Okay, so what a great idea. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
being part of the Saskatchewan landscape. Yeah, I take a lot of pride in sharing stories where they are not only Saskatoon focused, but where they're Saskatchewan focused.
Well, we appreciate that because we believe we're good folks here in Saskatchewan, and so we want to just help people. That's what we want to do.
Well, that's a guarantee. And you know what? It's great that you and others are creating this hotbed of technology in Saskatchewan. And that is something to take a lot of pride in.
Yeah.
And so I want to share my congratulations to you and your team and wish you much ongoing success.
Well, I really appreciate that, Mark. We've worked hard to this point, and I give my guys a lot of credit because they've made things move, and this wouldn't be where we were if there wouldn't have been a lot of work done behind the scenes and a lot of money spent.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right on.